everyone. Welcome to Another Nightmare. I'm Danny.
I'm Brian.
And this is the podcast where I tell my boyfriend stories about ghosts and haunted places and aliens and creepy stuff that I find interesting because it's stuff that we like.
All the stuff.
All the stuffs.
All of
it. Yay. So, on last week's episode, I mentioned that we probably weren't going to do a Christmas episode because I wanted to do the thing about the aliens, but I'm a liar. We're doing a Christmas episode.
It was a surprise to me as well.
Yep, I just decided that I didn't want to put it off and be a lazy piece of crap, so we're doing Christmas.
Here
Yay!
we are. Christmas.
So, at the start, I want to say Merry Christmas to all of those of you that celebrate Christmas. Everybody else, happy whatever the fuck you want to celebrate, because you do you.
Happy holidays.
Yay! Good times.
Well.
All right, you're ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right, so as most of you know, we live here in the United States of America.
What?
Yeah.
Darn it. No,
But here in the U.S., there's a very large emphasis on Christmas.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right, yeah. We try to be inclusive of other belief systems, but let's face it, as soon as Halloween decorations and costumes hit stores, they are also receiving Christmas freight and getting prepared for this stupid, dreaded holiday season. Like, instantly. You know, as soon as Walmart puts up Halloween costumes secretly in the back room,
it's already there.
It's already there, and they're moving everything to get set up for their Christmas shop, and before Halloween comes down, Christmas is up, and it's just fucking nightmares.
Christmas!
And this of course means that images of Christmas trees and the nativity scene are flooded into every aspect of life, and by mid-November, it's pretty much impossible to turn around without seeing Christmas lights, hearing Christmas music, and just being overwhelmed by, quote, Christmas cheer.
It's like Santa Claus punching you in the face.
Yeah, and then speaking of Santa Claus, there's just images of him fucking absolutely everywhere. You've got giant blow-up decorations, and then, you know, people dressed as Santa Claus standing in front of stores, ringing the bells, asking for donations. And, you know, at every mall throughout the entire country, there's a Santa Claus getting peed on by little kids. And it's all just Santa, Santa, Santa. And, like, you better be good or Santa won't come. And Santa and his reindeer visit little kids all over the world. And, you know, to give toys to the good kids and lumps of coal to the bad kids. And
it's not weird at all.
But how does he get all over the world to every single kid? Well, magic, of course. How else?
The magic of Christmas.
And it's just, you know, we want to be inclusive, but then it's just like Christmas imagery just shoved in your face from, like, let's face it, the end of October until December 26th, and then it's like Christmas never fucking happened, and everybody's like, take your lights down and die.
It's New Year's now.
But, you know, there are some places in the world that believe Santa isn't the only guy that's out there rewarding and punishing children throughout the month of December.
Yeah. Yeah.
So back in 2004, a man named... I'm really bad at pronouncing names, you guys. Beauchamp? Sure. Published a book of...
Beauchamp?
Beauchamp?
Beauchamp.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. You always make them sound more fancy. I'm always just like, Beauchamp. God damn it.
Beauchamp. He's a good old Beauchamp over there.
But he published a book of old postcards from the 19th and 20th century featuring a fearsome-looking creature punishing children with a bundle of birch sticks or stuffing them in a sack on his back.
Oh, shit.
This, of course, was Krampus.
Krampus!
This was a character from Austrian folklore.
You got it.
Yeah, I'll get there one day. So Beauchamp had been introduced to these old postcards by a friend and sort of became like an expert on these.
Okay.
After he published his first book, he was invited to help coordinate a gallery in Santa Monica, and it was just an absolute massive success.
Oh, hell yeah.
Since then, he has hosted a ton more galleries, published another book, and has contributed to shows like Supernatural with his Krampus collection.
Ooh,
and this is where the American Krampus obsession kind of started.
Okay, so this is where it traces our roots back to it.
Yeah.
Not the original story's roots, but just where we got into it.
Yeah. Well, like the modern day kind of obsession with Krampus, you
right.
know. We did have earlier, because, you know, a lot of the Germanic people that immigrated over, they still held on to some of their belief systems and stuff when they came over, but Americans never really grabbed onto Krampus until, you know, around this time frame, and then we started looking for more non-traditional Christmas imagery to look for, and Krampus kind of got swept up in that.
Okay.
And I mean, you know who Krampus is. Like, yeah, I was introduced to the idea of Krampus back in I think it was 2013 when American Dad did their Krampus episode.
I love that one.
For their Christmas special. You know, where Stan's dad had trapped Krampus in a pot, and then he let him out to try to get Steve to stop being an asshole, and then he kidnaps Steve, and they have a whole Beauty and the Beast fucking type storyline with them.
With Krampus. Oh, God.
But yeah, that's where I got introduced to Krampus, and then, of course, Krampus since then has had that huge movie franchise, and just absolutely everybody is, like, obsessed with him now.
Yeah.
But, you know, who really is this Krampus guy?
Yeah. Who's this wise guy?
Well, he is an anthropomorphic figure in folklore from Alpine Austria and some parts of Germany.
Okay. That's already cool.
Although there are many variations on his appearance, most show him as a hairy man-like creature with giant goat horns, a tail, and a long pointed tongue hanging down to his chest from a mouth full of fangs.
My man.
Most depictions give him one cloven hoof and one human foot with long talon-like toenails, though most experts are unsure of the significance of this odd feature.
Yeah, I don't get why. Maybe it's like, it can't run very fast. It's got a goat hoof and a human hoof.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, nobody really knows. There's about a lot of theories, but they think that this is kind of a holdover from his pagan imagery.
Okay.
So we're not entirely sure of the significance of why he has this separate feet.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially how the human foot has talons and shit coming out of it.
Yeah, it's just toenails. Like, he straight up needs to cut his toenails real bad. Could definitely use a spa day.
Hell yeah. I'll give Krampus a spa day.
So he really does look a lot like the Christian representation of the devil, which maybe this is where they got that imagery from. Is from Krampus himself.
That's very interesting.
Right?
Because the whole goat shit.
Well, and, you know, when the Christian church was trying to overtake pagan peoples and trying to assert Christianity over the pagans, they were stealing a lot of their imagery and turning it to, like, negative imagery and like being like, oh, it's associated with the devil. So it would make a lot of sense that they would take this creature that's kind of scary and hideous and be like, this is what the devil actually looks like, motherfuckers.
Be afraid.
He's not cool. He's scary. You know. just their thing that they like to do. So he is usually depicted as carrying chains, which are sometimes accompanied by bells.
Ooh.
These chains are thought to be symbolize the binding of the devil by the Christian church.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Like,
but
after Christian...
If you're going to have a very happy Christianized Santa Claus, you should probably have a scurry Christianized...
Anti-Santa.
Anti-Santa, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But he also carries a bundle of birch branches known as a rooten.
A rootin'?
I think is how they say that. It's a German word.
It's rootin' tootin', sorry.
Which comes from his pagan origins.
Love it.
So the chains are post-Christian takeover, and
right.
the birch branches are pre-Christian takeover.
The better part. Got it.
Yeah. So now he uses the birch bundle to punish naughty children, but it may have originally been used for initiation rituals in the pre-Christian pagan traditions.
Oh, shit. It would suck to get whipped by that.
Real fucking bad.
Yeah.
It would hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, it would sting.
Mm-hmm.
Leave marks. You'd probably cry.
I would. I for sure would.
I'd be pretty upset with the whole situation.
So another favorite item for Krampus is a large sack or basket that he carries on his back. Many images show him shoving children inside so he can carry them off to either drown them, eat them, or send them straight to hell.
Wow, fucked up. I'm going to drown you first, and then I'm going to eat you. And then, your soul's going to hell. Good luck.
Yeah, he is pretty brutal sometimes.
That's awesome. I really like Krampus now.
Definitely motivates you a little bit stronger to be a good child rather than just being like, oh, I'm going to get a lump of coal. No, bitch, you're going to go to hell.
That's pretty fucked up.
You're going to get dragged to hell by a creepy demon beast.
I would tell my 8-year-old that. Hey, you're 8. You're old enough to know.
Maybe we should tell Dottie about Krampus and maybe she'll stop being a brat.
Good luck.
Yeah, I doubt it. She'll still whine at me all the time.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I'm not involved.
So, historians are still unsure about the exact origins of Krampus in folklore, but it is believed that he predates Christianity, and comes from Norse and Germanic paganism, which are two really awesome pagan.
Yes, that's pretty cool.
He is believed to be the son of Hel from Norse mythology, and that's Hel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hel is...
Hell yeah. Had to.
Hel is the daughter of Loki, and she oversees the land of the dead, which bears her same name.
Okay.
So this is the place where those people who don't get into Valhalla, that's where they go when they die, is to hell. And it's just this kind of like cold, not so great place.
Yeah.
And actually, Balder, that we talked about in the story with Loki and the mistletoe.
Yep.
Balder actually goes to hell when he dies. And they try to get him back from hell, and Hel tells them that everybody has to weep for Balder, and then Loki disguises himself as a giantess and refuses to weep, and then that's how they're like, oh, Loki, fuck you, we're gonna tie you down and start Ragnarok, essentially.
Loki just pissing everybody off.
As usual. And then, of course, as usual, every time Norse mythology gets brought up, here I go on tangents, because
yep.
I'm obsessed.
I try to keep it together, but then I give up.
Yeah, there's no hope for me. So Krampus is one of the characters that featured as part of the winter solstice celebrations, which would later be incorporated into the Christian celebration of Christmas.
Christmas!
If you guys want to play a drinking game, every time Brian does that voice, take a shot.
Oh, Good luck.
You might die. So, this is when Krampus became one of the companions to Saint Nicholas, who was one of the precursors to our modern day Santa Claus.
No, I knew that.
Well, everybody Santa Claus, Saint Nick.
Yeah.
Father Christmas.
This one guy we were taught about.
Yeah, they all kind of get
elementary school.
They all kind of get lumped into our modern
definitely
perspective of Santa, especially here in the U.S. Because we have such a melting pot of different cultures in the United States that we want to build our own culture, so we just take pieces of every culture that's been brought in and just kind of throw it into this amalgamation of this is what we're gonna talk about. So Saint Nicholas, Father Christmas, all of that gets brought in, and all of a sudden it's Santa Claus, a big fat man in a red suit with a white beard.
Ding, we figured it out.
So Saint Nicholas of Myra was an early Christian bishop of Greek descent during the time of the Roman Empire. He is considered the patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, prostitutes, brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, students, and, of course, children.
My man.
It's a long list of people.
Yeah.
He's the patron saint of nearly everyone.
You say brokers?
Pawnbrokers.
Fuck that guy. I guess I'll bail out these guys too, even though I know they don't need it.
There are many stories attributed to his life, including one where he resurrected 3 men that had been murdered by a butcher with the intent of selling their meat off as ham during a time of famine.
Hero? Question mark?
The butcher?
No, not the butcher.
St. Nicholas?
Yeah.
For saving the men?
I mean, sure.
I mean, yeah. He rescued these men that had been murdered.
Well, they were already dead.
Yeah, so the story is...
I think he's a little late. They went through some trauma.
Well, some versions of the story have it where, these guys had been dead for, 7 years and pickled in a barrel of alcohol.
So, yeah, don't bring them back.
Yeah. And it's then he brings them back to life, and it's it's been 7 years, and they're wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think...
But then in some stories, it's small children that the butcher had gathered from the town, and
why do we need to have a butcher killing people?
Well, because it's a time of famine, and so he's oh, I'm gonna make some money by selling what I'm gonna call ham, but it's really people. Soylent Green is people.
Honestly, I'm okay with it.
The eating people, or
what? No,
him saving them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving on.
So the most famous story associated with Saint Nicholas is the one that we are going to be concerned with, which is where he saves 3 young women from having to resort to prostitution.
Okay.
So, in this tale,
You're all right.
A devout man has fallen on hard times and has lost all of his wealth. He had 3 beautiful daughters for which he could no longer afford to pay proper dowries.
Okay.
You know dowries, right? You pay a man to marry your daughter.
I mean, I know them, but why don't you explain it for everybody else who probably doesn't?
You want to explain it?
I asked you to first, so I think that's where the discussion is at so far.
Well, so a dowry was basically, as a woman, your family, or mainly your father or your brothers, would make arrangements with men in the community, with your, quote, suitors.
Correct, so far.
To marry you for a certain price. So basically they would be giving money or goods to these men for marrying you, which It's kind of fucked up.
You're totally absolutely correct. I'm happy I didn't have to step in there.
Glad you're here to fact check me.
You're quite welcome.
So, because the father didn't have dowries for his daughters, this meant the girls would remain unmarried and most likely have to resort to a life of prostitution to survive, since their father was unable to continue providing for them.
Okay.
Nicholas heard of this and decided that he wanted to help.
I wonder how that's going to happen.
Well, the story says he was either too modest to publicly help the family, or that he didn't want to humiliate them, so he came up with a plan to anonymously pay for the dowry of each daughter.
Okay.
During the night, he approached the house and tossed a bag of gold coins in an open window. The father quickly arranged for the first daughter to be married off, and after her wedding, Nicholas returned under the cover of darkness and tossed a second bag of coins through the window.
Oh, shit.
Again, the father quickly married off the second daughter, but wanted to know who was giving them the money. He stayed up for 2 nights and caught Nicholas as he attempted to toss a third bag of gold through the window.
Oh.
The father then fell to his knees to thank the man, and Nicholas asked that he not tell anyone about the gifts.
Okay.
St. Nicholas had saved 3 innocent women from resorting to a life of prostitution by secretly giving them the gift of gold during the night.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard life.
Prostitution?
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to deal with the hardness of the life of being a prostitute.
I'll really get the shaft on that. Right? Inappropriate joke. Fun. So, due to this story and the fact that St. Nicholas is the patron saint of children, it's no wonder he became the man to reward good children with gifts.
What a nice fucking guy.
Yes.
Just saving families.
Yes.
Out here on the streets, saving families.
You do what you can.
My man.
In Austrian tradition, the Feast of St. Nicholas is celebrated on December 6th, which is known as Nikolastag.
Okay, Nikolastag.
Yes, or St. Nicholas Day.
Cool.
This is the day good children will wake up to find gifts, usually of coins or chocolate, but bad children will have received their punishment the night before.
Ooh.
Now, like Santa Claus, St. Nicholas knows if you've been naughty or nice during the night of December 5th, he will visit good children to leave them gifts. But he isn't the one to visit naughty children.
Oh, fuck.
That task is left to his helper, Krampus.
Oh, there it is.
And this is the reason the night of December 5th is known as Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night.
Hell yeah, Krampusloof.
I love the German language. It's just
wonderful.
like, we have these 2 separate words, but I want to convey one message, so let's just shove them together.
Call it good.
I love their language. It's fantastic. I'm very bad at speaking it, though. But I'm bad at speaking English, too, so, as you all know. So, accounts of the punishment doled out by Krampus differ wildly.
Okay.
Of course,
As they should.
Mm-hmm. Some say he will simply scare the children with his hideous appearance before handing them a lump of coal.
Ah! Oh, thank you. Shit.
I mean, at least coal is still kind of useful because you can...
Throw it in the fire and keep yourself warm.
Yeah. But, it's not as fun as candy and coins.
It's kind of like getting socks.
Right? Like, you're like, oh, yeah, I could totally use this, but...
I do need these.
Real fun.
Thanks.
Other accounts say he will whip naughty children with his bundle of birch branches, or in some instances, an actual whip.
Fuck yeah. Fuck these kids.
Then there are tales that say he will stuff them in his sack and take them to his lair in hell, either for 1 year or all eternity.
A little much, but all right.
Little much. Yeah. In the most disturbing instances, he will shove them in the sack and take them to a nearby river to drown them. That's if you have a real asshole as a kid that you're like, oh, if you don't behave, Krampus is straight up gonna fucking drown you. And I really wish he would do it sooner rather than later, you dick.
Oh, man. Such a good legend.
Yeah, right?
It probably progressed to that. Just kids kept being little shits. He's gonna whip you. He's gonna put you in a sack and keep you in hell for a little bit. All right, it's gonna be all eternity. All right, you know he's gonna take you to the fucking river and drown you. You're gonna be kicking and screaming. And you're going down. It's gonna be cold. Act better. Do the dishes.
So, you want to hear a funny story from when I was a child?
Yeah.
So, when I was really little, like, I don't remember how old I was, but it was, like, the first time my parents ever threatened to ground me, right? I legitimately thought they said drown me. And so I was fucking terrified. I was like, what the fuck? My parents are straight up just gonna drown me if I don't behave? Like, they're just gonna take me to the bathtub and hold me underwater until, like, I stop kicking? What the fuck? I was terrified. And then I realized what grounding was and that it wasn't, you know, drowning me. It was just, you can't go play with your friends.
I'm gonna ground you. You're gonna put me in the ground? What?
I don't know why my little tiny brain went to that fucking extreme,
They're
but
gonna
I was
drown
just
me.
like,
I'm gonna die.
My parents straight up were just like, don't make us ground you. And I was like, drown me? Oh my God. Can they do that?
Oh, man. Oh, shit.
I was a
funny.
ridiculous child.
Drown me.
So yeah, this Krampus thing would have worked on me,
so
apparently.
Funny if they got you a pool for Christmas. And you're just like, they are.
Oh, good times. Good times. So there are also endless combinations of all of these different punishments that he may inflict on bad children.
Bad children.
Yes. So he may whip you, throw you in the sack, and then take you to hell.
What a jerk.
Yeah, you know. But the result is all the same. You don't want Krampus to be the one to visit you on December 5th.
Right. Sounds about right.
You definitely want St. Nicholas to come and see you.
I definitely want the old guy.
Yeah. The nice guy that saved 3 women from the life of prostitution, please. So, Krampus became wildly popular due to a boom in the postcard industry in Germany and Austria during the 1890s.
Fuck yeah.
Tons of cards featuring this Christmas devil were made and distributed. They became so popular that they have their own name, Krampuskarten, or Krampus Cards.
Hell yeah.
Early on, the cards were more scary and often depicted Krampus stuffing a distressed child into a sack or preparing to hit one with his bundle of sticks.
Ooh.
Others showed him leading children away in chains or chasing them through a snowy night near a river.
Oh, man.
The implication is clear.
It's great.
They featured sayings like Kroos von Krampus, or greetings from Krampus, or Bruv sein, or be good.
Okay.
You know, so warnings of like, hey, Krampus says hi and be good, you little shit. And these cards originally were meant for children. So you'd buy these terrifying postcards to send to children in your life and be like, haha, Krampus is gonna get ya.
Just like to torment kids.
Pretty much. That's pretty much up until like, I don't know, the mid 20th century. It was all about just torture children. It's what all fairy tales and folklore and this type of shit was just make children afraid to be alive. And then it became like Disney and, oh, Bambi and Thumper and yay, happy.
Bambi, your mom dies. Yay! Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that
Yeah,
part.
you forgot about the fucking first scene.
I just like Bambi. He's cute.
It's because he's a baby deer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So around 1903 or 1904, the Krampus Cards became aimed more towards adults.
Okay.
Some continued the punishment feature just with adults instead of children, but some became a lot more comical. They showed Krampus carrying off women or flirting with them, sometimes even proposing to them.
Oh.
Some cards even had Krampus as a woman stealing men. So it became more of kind of an ironic and, you know, a hipster thing of like, oh, look at my Krampus carton. It's so cool.
Oh my god. It's so cool.
Unfortunately, between 1934 and 1938, Austria fell under fascist rule and Krampus was all but banned.
No. That sucks.
Right?
Yeah. I wonder who's fascist rule. Sorry.
Cough, cough. He was seen as a symbol of sin, anti-Christian ideals, and was seen as a creation of social democrats by the fascist leaders.
Okay.
They prohibited Krampus dances and vowed to arrest Krampus wherever they saw him.
Oh, jeez.
The tradition was revived after World War II ended the fascist rule. But the church continued to forbid the raucous celebrations.
Friggin' church.
Yeah, always got to step on the fun.
Yeah.
However, Krampus has overcome the obstacles and the tradition held strong. He has had a resurgence in popularity and has become a welcome figure once again. One new tradition that has gained a lot of traction is Krampusloof, I think is how you say it, or the Krampus Run.
Ooh.
This is where men will dress in Krampus costumes, get drunk, and run through the streets. They often carry birch bundles and smack the thighs and shins of people that are out on the streets.
I want to go.
It's all in good fun and has helped spread Krampus throughout the world. He has been strongly embraced by the people of the U.S. looking for less traditional ways to celebrate the holidays. Krampus parties and bar crawls have become wildly popular and feature very elaborate costumes.
Oh my god, I can see it now.
Yeah.
Just drunk dudes running down the street, going to the next bar, doing a crawl, and just Krampus outfits, hitting people.
I'm pretty sure Seattle has a Krampus pub crawl.
Damn,
every year.
So cool.
I don't know if they did it this year, of course, but, you know.
Well, yeah.
I know that they have a Santa pub crawl.
Oh, God. I would do that one, too, though.
Yeah. But Krampus isn't the only companion for St. Nicholas. These different companions come from other regions and cultures and reflect the local history and beliefs.
Ooh.
While Krampus is celebrated in some parts of Germany, other Germanic regions have Belschnickel and Neckrupert.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm really bad at pronouncing things. In France, they celebrate Hans Trapp and Pierre Fouettard. I'm not sure. It's a hard one. In the Netherlands, they have Zwaarde. Maybe Zwaarde Piet or Black Peter, who has become extremely controversial due to the character's use of blackface.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around him.
I understand. You probably should just not do blackface anymore.
No, it's not okay. It's kind of fucking rude.
Definitely.
But I do want to spend some time talking about Belschnickel because he was featured on one of our favorite TV shows. The Office.
Oh my gosh.
So in season 9, episode 9, which is called Dwight Christmas, The Office votes for Dwight to put together a Pennsylvania Dutch-themed Christmas party, and Dwight gets to dress up as Belschnickel.
It's so exciting.
It's such a fun episode. And yeah, that's how I got introduced to Belschnickel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Belschnickel until that episode.
Yeah, right?
At all.
Yeah. Kind of like how I had... Like, I had exposure of Krampus before the American Dad episode.
Right.
But I didn't really know anything about Krampus until that episode. Like, there were, like, Krampus images brought into... Oh, God, I think it was in season 3 of Supernatural where there's, like, the pagan gods that are, like, eating people at Christmas time.
Right.
I think they, like, mentioned Krampus in that episode, but they didn't really talk about him. Okay. And so, you know, I had light exposure here and there, but I didn't really understand Krampus was a real thing and, like, had, like, a huge history until American Dad. Ironically.
2 TV shows helped us learn.
Yay, TV. So, Belschnickel is a loud, crotchety Christmas gift bringer from the Palatinate region of southwestern Germany along the Rhine.
Ooh.
He is often depicted as wearing furs, sometimes with a hideous mask, and carrying a bundle of birch sticks.
Oh, similarities.
Some actually see him as an amalgamation of the gift-giving St. Nicholas and the punishment-wielding Krampus.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's still giving out gifts, but he's also punishing the ones that...
Yeah, and he carries, you know, a birch branch and has, you know, is covered in furs and is disheveled looking and kind of scary, you know, so it kind of makes sense that he might be a combination of these 2 figures.
Belschnickel is nigh.
He may also be related to Knecht Ruppert, who is an older figure from northern Germany.
I love the different regions of ancient, or not, of really old countries have their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool.
Well, especially Germany. Germany is one of those ones that really, depending on the region, they have, like, a lot of special traditions and belief systems and stuff like that. And it's really fucking neat. It's so cool to have that kind of diversity, but it's all kind of related, but kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Belschnickel is related to the other companions of St. Nicholas, but he does not accompany St. Nicholas.
Okay.
Like the rest of them do.
Oh, shit.
Instead, Belschnickel visits alone in the weeks prior to Christmas and combines the threatening and the benign aspects of the holiday traditions. So, when German people from southwestern Germany immigrated to Pennsylvania, they brought their Christmas traditions with them.
Yes.
Most of the people in the U.S. did not celebrate Christmas much at this time.
Okay.
They often just allowed the day to pass as just a normal day. This was very odd to the German immigrants who were used to large Christmas celebrations with friends and family.
That's so much better. That's so much better to have a party.
Yeah.
Than just be dead, walking around like, just getting through the winter.
Right?
And I'm not depressed or anything, I swear.
Man, seasonal affective disorder must have been way harsher back then.
Probably.
Because you were like, I might die this winter. Or my whole family might die.
I was going to take it to a lighter level and say, there's nothing to do. I can't go farm.
I'm just going to sit here.
But then the reality kicks in. Oh, I might die? My whole family might die? My youngest ones are going for sure? Darn it.
I didn't store enough food. I'm totally fucked.
Damn.
I feasted too hard before the winter. Brutal. So, the German immigrants began celebrating Christmas at home rather than out in the community. They continued their traditions, like the Christmas tree, the Poots nativity scene, I think.
Okay.
And of course, Belschnickel.
Belschnickel.
So, Belschnickel traditionally shows up to houses 1 or 2 weeks before Christmas. He would be dressed in torn, tattered, and dirty clothes, topped with assorted furs and adorned with bits of foliage, deer antlers, and other such decorations. He also wore a fur hat, sometimes with more deer antlers attached to it.
Okay.
He would have long, tangled hair and an unkempt beard, and in some cases would wear a scary mask.
Jesus.
His arrival would always be signified by rapping on the door or window with his stick.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So the parents would then gather the children to come and face Belschnickel and answer his questions.
Come, children. Belschnickel is nigh, and he has questions for you.
So he would quiz the children on their behavior throughout the year with questions about how they treated others, if they had done their chores, and what nice things they had done that year.
Hey, Jonathan Jr., you remember when you slapped your sister, Elizabeth? I do. I remember.
I mean, he was a lot creepier than that. He'd usually be like, "You remember? 'Cause I remember."
Oh, God. Fuck. I don't remember.
Oh, man.
Mom, help. Help. I peed.
Oh, God. So children that could confidently recount their good deeds would receive treats like small cakes and candies from Belschnickel's bag.
Thanks for the candy.
God damn it.
Can I go back to bed now?
If they were honest about their guilt, they would receive a rap on the knuckles from his stick.
Fuck, what if they're not?
Those that tried to lie about their misdeeds would receive more serious punishment.
Yeah, he just started hitting him in the face.
No, probably on the back or the butt.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully not in the face.
I would.
That's the moneymaker.
I wouldn't want to take it on my knuckles either.
Yeah, I want to stick with Santa, where it's like truly nothing happens if you're bad. You still get presents, or whatever.
Stick out your hands. Stick out your fucking hands. Filthy liar.
Oh God, it's so intimidating.
Stick out your fucking
This dirty old man. Stick out your fingers, child.
Oh God.
Once the children had been questioned about their behavior, Belschnickel would then ask them to recite a prayer, a song, or something they had learned in school. Some traditions have Belschnickel scattering candies on the floor in front of the children and whipping those who greedily grabbed for them before answering his questions.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
So fucked.
Back when you could beat children with a stick and nobody would care.
Sure, children. Go for the candy. It's fine.
Now you hint at hitting a child with a stick and, ooh, bitch.
It's better that way, though.
Yeah. So, some areas with Belschnickel tradition would also participate in a custom known as Belschnickeling or Belschnickeling.
Belschnickeling?
I think. Yeah. I'm not good at pronouncing things.
That's okay.
So this was a tradition where young men in the community would dress in costumes and hideous masks and run through the streets. They would barge into homes and tell children in raspy voices that they knew when and where they had been naughty.
Okay, I don't recommend barging into people's homes and yelling at their kids. It's just a low recommendation for me. Yeah.
That sounds really scary, actually.
Sounds like you're getting shot.
In today's America, yes.
Oh, God.
So then they would throw candy on the floor and smack the kids on the back when they tried to reach for it.
That's so funny.
So this was basically just an excuse for your neighbors to beat your children.
It's like entrapment.
Yeah. Essentially. Here, you want some candy? Smack, smack, smack.
You fuckers. And then you just run away. I like Belschnickel.
Right? Oh, fuck. So less aggressive versions of this had the men going door to door and performing some sort of entertainment in exchange for snacks and refreshments and sometimes alcohol.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, kind of like early trick-or-treating type stuff. The people living in the home would try to guess who was at their door, and if they were right, the men would remove their masks.
Oh, shit.
This tradition died out in the U.S. after World War II, but continued further on in some parts of Canada and Brazil. And they didn't really die out in those areas until like around like the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I did not know anything about Belschnickel except for The Office.
Right?
Yeah. I just knew that he was a Pennsylvania Dutch thing that came from Germany.
Yeah, it's really fun to learn about all these
it's super cool.
Crazy side traditions.
Christmas.
So, both of these Christmas characters are experiencing a resurgence in popularity.
Thanks, Office.
Yay. People in the U.S. especially have become tired of the over-exaggerated nature of the Christmas season and have begun looking for less commercialized and darker Christmas traditions to balance the bah humbug attitude felt towards.
Well, it's like, finally.
Yeah. I mean, over the years, America has just gotten more and more commercialized with Christmas, and there's more emphasis put on it, more pressure, and it's starting earlier and earlier every year, and a lot of the country is starting to have this collective bah humbug feeling towards Christmas. You know, more and more people are being like, I fucking hate Christmas music. More and more people are like, I don't want to participate in Christmas this year. I'm not going to buy friends gifts. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to go out with decorations and stuff like that, you know. And so now we're just finding these other Christmas traditions that are less known in our country, and we're starting to embrace them because it's something new. It's something that's not so played out and so...
Yeah, it's not overused.
Yeah.
It's my childhood growing up, I had the same Christmas tree every year. It was the same decorations. It was either fake or it was real. That's the only thing that changed. Every once in a while we got a real one because same tree skirt, same everything. And it's like, now when we do Christmas, we have dinosaurs in our fucking tree. And it's
because I didn't want to...
It's so cool.
I didn't want to spend fucking $500 trying to buy Christmas ornaments for a fucking tree that's going to be up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Before I have to fucking take it down. Like, instead, I can go and spend $50 on a shitload of plastic dinosaurs, spray paint them silver and gold, and there we go. We have a dinosaur Christmas tree.
And it's like my favorite Christmas tree that I've ever had.
Yeah. And it's a black Christmas tree.
It's non-traditional.
Yeah.
And it's just cool.
It's fun. It's something more unique for us, you know. And
so I totally understand why these things are making a comeback. Like why these non-traditional Christmas things are becoming more of a Christmas celebration.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, and it's just...
It's cool.
Christmas has just become so overly commercialized that it's nice to start embracing these things that aren't commercialized.
Yeah.
To start getting into these traditions that aren't, you know, completely overrun by corporations being like, you have to do it this way, you have to have this, you have to spend this type of money, you know, you have to get your best friend the perfect present or you're not even their best friend, you're a worthless piece of shit. Like... No, let's just take a breath and embrace these lesser known characters and forget this commercialized garbage and just have fun again with Christmas.
Make it a nice fun holiday for yourself.
Yeah, like back when you were a little kid before you realized how fucking soul-destroying and corrupt Christmas actually was. You know?
Yeah.
Back when there was still magic to be had.
Back when your stocking was stuffed with surprises instead of things that you knew. Because you stuff your stocking now. You don't. Nobody does it for you. So you know it's in there. When you wake up on Christmas morning, and you know. You know.
See, that's why I like to buy little side things for you. And
I know, it makes me so happy.
Throw them in your stocking because it's things that you don't expect, and you're like, my God.
I still live the good life. No, it's good. It's good.
Me, on the other hand, I know exactly what's in my stocking.
I'm going to put something random in there for you this time.
You're just going to put a sock in there and be like, ha.
It's just one sock. It's not even a pair. It makes it more surprising.
This is your sock. And it's dirty.
Yeah, will you
do
clean
my
that?
laundry, please.
It's the sign I want you to pay attention to. Thanks, babe.
So, Krampus has become one of the most popular alternative Christmas figures.
Christmas.
And has been featured in TV shows, books, and movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of, like, low-budget films, and then, of course, had his big, huge horror film.
The horror one, yeah. That was a little bit ago.
It was like I think it came out in, like, 2015, I want to say.
No idea, but I remember it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a huge thing, and now a lot of people are like, oh, this is my favorite Christmas movie, because, like, fuck Christmas movies.
Hell yeah.
More people are also participating in Krampusnacht activities like Krampus parties, costume contest, and the traditional Krampusloof.
What?
The Krampusloof, the Krampus run.
Oh yeah,
where they run around and hit strangers in the legs.
Yeah.
Austria has also jumped in on the commercialization of Krampus by selling chocolates, figurines, and collectible horns.
Ooh.
Although the traditional Krampus masks are far more valuable than these little horns.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I was reading a thing about these traditional Krampus masks, and they're made of, really nice, the horns are made of like really nice wood, and a lot of these older masks are being preserved in Krampus museums now.
That's
in
so
Austria.
Rad. Wow.
Yeah, and they have like the overall like folklore museums have some of these Krampus masks, but there are specific Krampus museums popping up in Austria that are now featuring a lot of these older, more intricately designed masks.
That's
and it's
so
really
rad.
cool. I would love to go and see these.
Me too. I'd love to go to Austria.
Hell yeah, it'd be fun.
Austria, Germany.
All them places.
All the places.
Belschnickel has also experienced a newfound popularity in the U.S. While his importance has continued in the area originally settled by the Germans, more communities are starting to embrace this strange character. With his recent appearances on The Office and in the new 2020 Netflix movie The Christmas Chronicles 2, people are starting to take notice of Belschnickel and are becoming more interested in the tradition.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Stroud's Brewing Company in Adamstown, Pennsylvania has a seasonal dark lager called Belschnickel.
Ooh.
And Otto's Pub and Brewery in State College, Pennsylvania offers a Belschnickel ale.
I want both.
Right? I want to try them. They sound really good.
Yeah. Dang.
Many of these traditional Pennsylvania Dutch areas are hosting Belschnickel community events to help spread this tradition and bring Belschnickel into a more widely recognized arena.
That makes me happy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. One of the sources that I used for Belschnickel was from, I believe it was like a museum in Pennsylvania that was talking about like their community projects and like what they do with Belschnickel and like coming together and having these little celebrations about it and stuff like that and educating the greater community It's really cool.
That's super sweet.
Yeah. Pretty fucking awesome. All right. So that's what I have on Krampus and Belschnickel.
Wow, that was very informative, and I'm really happy we got to do our Christmas special on them.
Yeah, and, the other Christmas figures that we mentioned, the companions for St. Nicholas, we might talk about those guys next year.
Good, because I want to.
Yeah, we might cover the French guys next year.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then, we have
French.
Black Peter that we could possibly get into at some point in time.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he is controversial, but we could ignore the blackface part.
Skip right over it. No.
All right. So, did you have a story you wanted to share this week, Burton?
Yeah, I got a story. It's going to be a quick one, but I got one.
All right.
Because
we still don't have listener stories.
Yeah. And I'm running low, so I'm going to start spacing them out. All right. Washington State, up in between Port Angeles, Washington, and Sequim, Washington, there is a schoolyard. And it's up Blue Mountain Road. So me and my friend group just call it the old Blue Mountain schoolyard.
I think that's what a lot of the locals call it.
I think so. So there's a school. So the whole property area is there's a schoolhouse in the front, but then there's a cemetery in the back. Cemetery is the one that's not affiliated with a church, right? Graveyard is.
Yes, I think.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
So
I could be wrong.
So there's a cemetery in the back of some of the people that used to actually use the schoolhouse. If I'm correct.
That's kind of creepy and weird.
I think it's pretty cool. So the schoolhouse is definitely haunted, in my opinion. It's really fun to go up there. It's
an old schoolhouse from
from
like the early settlement, right?
No, not early settlement. Well, I guess maybe early settlement for this area.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's in the early 1900s, like really early. And there used to be a teacher that had to walk through the school, and she used to carry a gun walking through the woods to get to the school because animals.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so there's pictures.
There'd be cougars here.
There's pictures up on the walls in the schoolhouse. I don't know if it's still unlocked. I think maybe it might have been locked up a little bit ago, but when we went in high school, it was totally ready to go. Just you could walk it right in.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, you get your first little what's that word? Vestibule.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, the part where you walk in before it's the actual inside of the schoolyard.
Yeah.
So you get your little vestibule that there's like a chair in or something. I can't really remember. And then you go into the schoolyard where there's a little...
The schoolhouse, you mean?
Yeah, the schoolhouse, sorry. Where there's the windows, a bench, and a desk, and then a teacher's chair. And it's pretty empty in there.
Yeah, they would have moved most of the furniture out.
So one night, we're all in there just chilling, and, it gets past midnight. It gets closer to start getting around 3. We usually left around just after 3:30 because, yeah.
Yeah, that's scary hour.
Yeah, but you stay for the scary hour. So we start seeing shadows just quickly moving around. There is a 7-foot tall shadow of the janitor that hangs out in the broken down shack. That's not a janitor. It's probably not a janitor.
That's not a janitor.
But he usually hangs out in the shack that's just outside the schoolyard. And it's basically being eaten by the woods. So, but when you go into the schoolyard, you start seeing him walking back and forth through past the doorway.
That's
every once in a while
weird.
He'll walk back and forth. It's a little creepy. The best night that we had, I think, was a night when it was a lot of us. Everybody was sitting on the bench except for me. I was standing up, and we were in the pitch black. We had blown out all the candles, and we were just waiting. And I opened my mouth and I go, "You see, guys, We're just sitting in a quiet room in the dark. Nothing's happening. And as soon as I say that, children's laughter just everywhere, all of a sudden everywhere. And it was just, it shut me up. Everybody was just like, oh, fuck.
Oh.
And then, the shadows increased, and it just got a little bit more wild. And then we decided to leave a little early, I think, that night because it was pretty active. And every single time we've gone there, our cars are covered in handprints afterwards.
Ooh, that's so freaking
because you park right outside, right in front of it.
Well, yeah.
And I think that was also the night that we forgot the candles in the schoolhouse. So Zach and I, just Zach and I, went back into the schoolhouse. We left the door open behind us, and when we got to the candles, it was shut.
Ew.
Yeah. And when we lit the candles and we walked up to it because, oh no, we had flashlights, I think. I can't remember if we lit the candles or if we had flashlights.
I would hope you had flashlights because
we may have just had to
the whole candle thing is making me think of the Midnight Man ritual and
we walked up to it and there was this huge boot print on the door on the inside.
Oh, like somebody had kicked it closed?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it didn't slam it or anything. It just closed.
Ooh.
And then Zach and I fucking we opened the door and left, closed it behind us, got in the car and left.
Were you doing the Scooby-Doo, all legs type of run?
No, just
Zoinks.
No, I think when you start running, it really gets the heart going and it makes the fear go faster.
Yeah, that's very true.
So if you just take it slow and calm down and try and breathe, it helps. That's what I do. I don't try and run in the scary situations. I try and just
always
breathe.
Run.
And that makes you more scared. Is the running because then you think you're getting chased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just natural. I don't have the fight. I have the flight.
I do have other schoolyard stories, but that'll be for later when I'm more comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and isn't this the schoolhouse, the cemetery is you're not supposed to go in the cemetery after dark?
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
There's dark.
They say after dark don't go in. If you go to the schoolhouse first, don't go into the woods after or to the cemetery. Just stay in the schoolhouse and you'll be fine. You'll just hear all the shit. You won't actually deal with anything. They say if you look out the windows into the dark, your reflection starts to morph.
Ew.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So we didn't spend a lot of time staring out the windows.
I wouldn't either. I would spend a lot of time staring at my feet because I would be afraid.
A lot of people feel pinches on their legs. Or pinches or taps on their legs. Yeah. And I think it's from the children.
Yeah.
And I don't think children died there. I just think that there's children's spirits there.
Well, I mean, if it was their schoolhouse and they died young,
and
they would probably go to their school because, they got to play with their friends there and stuff like that. So they might have some sort of special attachment to the school itself rather than somewhere else in town, you know. And, the school wasn't just go and learn. That might have also been a place where they were able to go and play outside of school hours as well, Yeah. They might have been able to play in the woods around the school and stuff like that. So they might have had fond memories of this place, and that's why they are there now. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really nice area in the daytime too. It's very relaxing if you ask me.
Yeah, I've only been there during the day. I've never been there at night to experience these creepy events. Yeah. I think my mom did. I think she went up there one time at night. I'm not sure, but yeah.
It's very fun. It's a very nice place. I recommend going there. If it's locked though, deal with it. Don't go inside.
Yeah. Isn't there a superintendent living really close by?
I don't know if there's a superintendent living close by, but I know that there is someone that does check up on it every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wanted to go there at night, but I get nervous about the superintendent thing, and then also I'm kind of a pansy.
That's my story though. It's just some creepy stuff that happened at the schoolyard in a haunted place in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one, though. And I know that you have other stories from there, too.
I do.
We'll get into eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
So thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming back for another episode and a surprise Christmas episode because I misspoke last week.
Quizmas!
Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed our look at Krampus and Belschnickel and
Belschnickel is nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and if you guys did like it, let us know. You can leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. It really helps us get seen by more people, helps us get in those charts so more people can find the podcast and share in our creepy stories.
Yeah.
And speaking of creepy stories, if you have your own personal creepy story that you would like to have shared on the podcast, you can email it to us at anothernightmarepod@gmail.com. It's all one word, anothernightmarepod@gmail.com. And, if you don't want your name included, just let us know at the top of the email. And it doesn't just have to be ghost stories. It can be alien encounters, creepy creatures, just weird experiences like glitches in the Matrix are always fun. Stuff like that. So yeah, if you have those creepy stories and you want to be featured on the podcast, please, please, please email them to us because we are going to run out of our own stories at some point in time.
Fucking do it.
And then, of course, you can find the podcast on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. You can just search Another Nightmare Podcast on any of those platforms, and we should pop up there. You can find me on social media. I'm at OhFuckYah. That's OFAKYA. If you're interested, still have not posted anything, but whatever. I do what I can.
I do what I can.
Our theme song, of course, was by our friend Rob. You can check him out on Instagram at insertnickname_. I did it this time.
Did it.
He does have an album coming up, A Myriad of Mayhem. So check him out, give him some love. He makes really cool music. And we really appreciate his theme for us.
Yeah! All right.
I think that's all of it, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's all of our housekeeping crap.
We did it.
All right. So,
congratulations.
We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.